Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and beyond. This week, the Vice President traveled to Houston and Panama. The President honored the legacy of John F. Kennedy, this year's Medal of Freedom winners, and Nobel laureates. He also attended the Wall Street Journal's CEO Summit. It's November 15th to the 21st, or A Man, a Plan, a Canal, Panama. On Friday, the President met with health insurance company executives to discuss how their companies can ensure that every American knows the affordable care options available to them through Obamacare.
Because of choice and competition, a whole lot of Americans who've always seen health insurance out of reach are going to be in a position to purchase it.
On Saturday, young leaders from a broad array of government agencies who were the first attendees of the Presidential Leadership Workshop came to the White House at the end of a 6-month training initiative. They openly discussed what works and doesn't work within their organizations, and the President shared some pearls of wisdom from his work as a community organizer.
Where I've seen organizations work well and leaders lead well, it's because they give everybody around them a sense that I'm rooting for you. I'm not trying to step on you.
On Sunday, the First Family attended a men's basketball game between the University of Maryland and Oregon State University, where the First Lady's brother, Craig Robinson, is the head coach. On Monday, Vice President Biden, Transportation Secretary Fox, Senator Johnny Isakson, and the mayors of Atlanta, Baltimore, and Philadelphia landed in Houston to highlight how federal initiatives are helping ports across the United States prepare to capitalize on the expansion of the Panama Canal. The group then traveled to Panama to take a look for themselves at the Panama Canal and the expansion project underway. Roughly 5% of world trade passes through the isthmus every year. Following the opening of the expanded canal in 2015, the Panama Canal Authority estimates that cargo volume will double by 2025. At the Miraflores locks, the Vice President got a view up close at the existing locks of the canal, alongside Panamanian President Martinelli. In the control room, the Vice President was shown the technology used to operate the locks, and even tried his hand at opening the large doors that control the locks and allow ships to pass. Then, at the Panama Canal expansion site, the Vice President took in the vast infrastructure project which will double the capacity of the canal and allow significantly larger ships to call on U.S. ports. It'll help spark job creation and prosperity at home and all across the Americas. The Vice President also conducted a wreath-laying ceremony at Corozal American Cemetery and Memorial to honor U.S. military members who died in service to their country. He also met with the 3 candidates currently running to be the next president of Panama. Meanwhile, back at La Casa Blanca, the President met with a bipartisan group of Senate leaders to discuss sanctions against Iran and reiterate the need to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons.
Here we are, the really smart people around. Come on in.
Later that morning, the President invited Nobel laureates to the Oval Office to applaud their contributions to science, medicine, and economics. While they were there, the President showed his guests some memorabilia he's chosen to display that he thought they might be particularly interested in.
These are actually original patents that I got from the Smithsonian. So that, for example, is the original patent of Samuel Morse's telegraph register. That was the start of the internet right there.
That afternoon, the President sat down for a question and answer session at the Wall Street Journal CEO Council annual meeting. There, he talked about how the differences between Republicans and Democrats aren't nearly as wide as they appear.
I would distinguish between the rhetoric and the tactics versus the ideological differences. A lot of Republicans want to get infrastructure done, just like I do. A lot of them believe in basic research, just like I do. A lot of them want to reform entitlements to make sure that they're affordable for the next generation. So do I. A lot of them say they want to reform our tax system. So do I.
On Wednesday, the President awarded the Medal of Freedom, our nation's highest civilian honor, to 16 individuals who have made especially meritorious contributions to significant national and global endeavors. Then, the 42nd President and the 44th President and First Ladies paid tribute to President Kennedy, laying a wreath at the eternal flame honoring his memory at Arlington National Cemetery. On Thursday, the President made a statement on the filibuster in the White House briefing room.
So the vote today, I think, is an indication that a majority of senators believe, as I believe, that enough is enough. The American people's business is far too important to keep falling prey day after day to Washington politics.
The President then visited with the Connect Ed Champions of Change to to congratulate them on their work bringing 21st century technology into classrooms. Later, he stopped into the Roosevelt Room to welcome the Prime Minister of Slovakia, who was meeting with the Vice President. Then he sat down with the PCAS team, that stands for Presidential Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Then the President headed over to take a photo with the fall class of White House interns. Later that night at the Naval Observatory, the Vice President and Dr. Biden hosted a Thanksgiving dinner for wounded warriors. To find out more information on any of these topics or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week.
Now, why don't we get all the economists over here? Come on. Wait, don't go anywhere. Yeah, everybody's been taken. Come on. So everybody kind of slide in here. This is our group picture. Yes. Let's see if economists can organize themselves.